Get off my fucking TV, especially Eva Marie. All you fucking goons, just grab a cold beer. The man of the hour is finally here. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script. JD from New York, 206. It's time for Off The Script.
What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. And there ain't no New York Post that's gonna be telling people Off The Script is for sale, bro. This show is off the market. Nobody does it like we do in the world of wrestling podcasts. Do you want to know why? Do I even have to explain to you why? I think you all know the answer to this simple question. And that answer simply is... is the number one fucking podcast in your subscription boxes. Right here on YouTube.com. This is Off The Script. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I don't even know what fucking day it is, bro. Does it even fucking matter? Honestly, does it even matter? If Off The Script is in your sub boxes, bro, you know it's a good day. That's all I gotta say about that. Episode 135, part number 3. There probably will be a part number 4 on Monday because there's a shit ton of news this weekend. And we're gonna talk about today on episode 135, part 3 for your Sunday. TNA Impact. Apparently, there was a report in the New York Post about TNA Impact being up for sale, and the WWE plus Ring of Honor, Sinclair Broadcasting, are throwing their names in the hat to buy TNA Impact Wrestling. Vince McMahon reportedly throwing his weight around in the world of professional wrestling, showing you exactly who is the real super heavyweight in this industry, man. In a move that could probably shake up the foundation once again in the world of professional wrestling, Vince McMahon and WWE interested in buying TNA. I will go over the entire story for you guys today. You're not going to hear it anywhere else. Twitter, at JD from NY206. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not done so already. I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. Get your t-shirts, barbershopwindow.com. Go to the homepage, Barbershop Window. Type in the search bar, Off The Script. There you got it. Google magic, my friends. Google magic. You got 6 t-shirts, 4 Get Off My TV, the gray Off The Script logo design, and the Goon City t-shirt, $19.99. No matter where you're living, you're going to get your t-shirt, man. The best quality t-shirts money can buy. Barbershop Window, Pro Wrestling Tees, 1HourTees.com. If you guys want to support the podcast and the channel in another way, obviously you guys know Patreon.com. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. You guys go on there, early access. You guys got perks on there. You guys got the mission statement that is very, very heartfelt and from my soul. If you guys want to go check that out and find out why I'm doing this and where I came from and why I'm even on here, Patreon.com is your home for all of that. So if you guys want to pledge, it's never an obligation. You don't have to do shit. But if you certainly want to, it is there for you guys to take advantage of. So make sure you guys go check that out. At least if you don't want to do anything, maybe tell a friend. I don't know. It is there for you guys to indulge in. All right. So thank you guys to everybody that has pledged this week. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Also, guys, I did post a Resident Evil video. I did post Off the Script, obviously, Friday and Saturday. I got other videos as well during the week. We had a live special for Out of Nowhere. That is down in the description for the Cruiserweight Classic. If you missed anything, everything you need down in the description. WrestleCrate.com. Use the coupon code JDSENTME for an instant 10% off. We had the Off the Script Part 1 of this weekend's show. We did a WrestleCrate unboxing. Not one of their best. I will say that. I'm always honest, but hopefully they turn around and give us a fucking incredible box for September, man. So I'm looking forward to that. If you guys want to go check out the WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate, use the coupon code JD from NY, man. All capital letters. Use the link that I am providing for you down below. Go check it out. They ship in October, so you better get your ass moving. Go to my link. Buy whichever fucking case you want. It is bi-monthly. Save yourself some money. JD's got you covered, man. That's WWE Slam Crate by Loot Crate. And you know, this is a WWE-themed product. They are going to go balls to the wall for their first crate. So make sure you guys are on board with Team JD in my link down below. And finally, guys, WrestleRumble.com. If you guys want to win money during next Sunday's Clash of the Champions pay-per-view, you guys can certainly do so with Wrestle Rumble. Use your knowledge. Put your knowledge to the test, guess the winners, and win some fucking money during an otherwise boring Monday Night Raw pay-per-view. So make sure you guys go check that out. WrestleRumble.com. So thank you guys for that. Now, let's talk about TNA, man. We have a huge story here in the making. And like I said in the beginning, this is something that could certainly shake the foundations of the wrestling industry in 2016. WWE reportedly put in a bid to buy TNA Impact Wrestling as of this week. TNA Wrestling has been around for over a decade now, and they have done well on and off for a smaller promotion. It is quite apparent that they have helped change the game a bit over the years. On top of this, they have managed to give us some incredible wrestlers who would go on to become major names in this business. AJ Styles may be the most notable of the names that went through TNA. He is now, currently, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Other names like Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, James Storm, and even Austin Aries have all made their mark in TNA before they went on to other notable places. Of course, the one promotion that's always been connected to TNA is Ring of Honor, ROH, who helped to supply the promotion with talent for years before some sort of issue came about, causing the wrestlers to pick where they wanted to be. That led to some of the Ring of Honor stars leaving TNA to stay with Ring of Honor, while others would choose TNA. WWE has also seen some interesting things happen that connect them to TNA as well. In fact, most of the major names that were with TNA actually came from the WWE first. Top guys like Kurt Angle, Christian, EC3, Drew Galloway, Gail Kim all started their careers with the WWE well before they went to TNA. While they got a lot more chances to succeed with TNA and even helped to reinvent themselves, they may have never gotten the chance if it was not that they came from the WWE. That said, it should go without saying that WWE may have an interest in TNA. According to the New York Post, which is normally a very notable source for pretty much anything, Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan, not a fan of the band at all, is attempting to become a majority owner of TNA. I don't know why I threw that in there. I just felt like I had to throw that in there. I never liked the Smashing Pumpkins, man. I always thought Billy Corgan's wrestling knowledge trumped his musical skill. That's just my honest opinion. But Billy Corgan is attempting to become the majority owner of TNA. He mentioned that he wanted to take his commitment to a much bigger stage, come Bound for Glory. I would love nothing better than to stand up in front of everyone and give a clear picture of where this company is and where it is going, says Billy Corgan. The biggest part of this story from the Post is not so much that Billy is interested in buying up the rest of TNA, as that seems kind of obvious by now due to what we know so far about his role with the company. Plus, we already know he has a stake in the business right now and was just named TNA president, a role Dixie Carter had for years. She just stepped down. The real thing that caught everyone's eye was that the New York Post mentioned both WWE and Sinclair Broadcasting putting in bids to buy up the promotion recently, which is pretty huge to hear about at the end of the day, considering what this would accomplish. Of course, Sinclair Broadcasting owns Ring of Honor currently. Will you get away from me, please? I got my fucking cat over here, and I'm not fucking starting the video over. Get the fuck away from me. The new one, by the way. It's not Bacardi. Bacardi's fucking scared. So, that is where we stand right now. Both WWE and Sinclair Broadcasting put in bids to buy up the promotion recently, which is pretty huge to hear about at the end of the day, considering what this would accomplish in the wrestling industry. Of course, Sinclair Broadcasting owns Ring of Honor currently, but there have been rumors for some time that claim Sinclair has even considered selling Ring of Honor, which have been killed. The rumors have been killed off by the company whenever they are talked about. While Sinclair obviously would have interest, WWE, on the other hand, there's always been rumored to have interest, but never actually did anything about it. Of course, TNA was not only in the position they are in those times. Currently, as it seems, Panda Energy is trying to find someone to take TNA off their backs. The company has carried TNA for years now, and if someone else gave a good bid, they most likely would take it. TNA has been taking on investors and other ownership. As mentioned, Corgan is one of the people currently with ownership, but another company, Aerolux, also has a stake. That said, it is tough to know if TNA would even be able to be sold to the WWE if the WWE did not get the entire company. They wouldn't want to have investors connected to the company if they bought it, as they would want most of everything. If TNA did end up selling off random things like contracts, WWE would avoid this altogether. The only thing WWE would have interest in is their library and name itself, as they could end up putting out DVDs and putting up a lot of content on the WWE network. Plus, they would be able to have a ton of Christian, Kurt Angle, Sting, and AJ Styles matches up for grabs as well. On top of this, WWE would not have to avoid talking about TNA on television any longer. Right now, the only reference is on the WWE Network, and even that in itself is a rarity. As of now, this is just a rumor regarding WWE's interest. However, if they did end up putting up a bid, they would put up no more than they did with WCW, which was a little over $2 million. This was seen as a steal, considering the fact that WCW was worth well more than this. WWE Chairman Vince McMahon knew he basically just stole the company away from everybody else. TNA has had nowhere near the success of WCW. That said, it will be interesting to see the bid WWE put in if they actually did. If they do buy TNA, it is likely the company is shut down by WWE and they won't get a TV deal and they won't have to worry about anything else besides that. Unlike WCW, when they had no choice but to shut them down, TNA has a deal, a TV deal that has no ties to the actual company like WCW did with Turner Broadcasting. So things could get very interesting from here. Obviously, I will let you guys know about what is going on. I knew as soon as I read the headline for this story, Vince McMahon only wants the library. That's all he cares about, man. Obviously, some of the people there I would absolutely love to have in WWE. A Drew Galloway, an EC3, the Hardys. You know, obviously guys like that. You know, even Decay. And I don't know who else is there. You know, some of the women as well. You know, Gail Kim. There's some prime talent there. But WWE, if they do buy TNA, TNA is done. Absolutely done. And you got to keep in mind, like the report said, WWE purchased WCW for $2 million. Now, one of the reports I read was mentioning $40 million. I don't even think WWE would throw out $4 million for TNA if they did $2 million for WCW. I think WWE goes even less than that. I'd say $1 million. I'd say less than $1 million. $750,000, $800,000 for TNA. It's nothing to them. TNA is nothing to WWE. Vince McMahon is doing this because, quite frankly, he can. And if there's an opportunity in this marketplace where WWE has made more money than they ever have before, why wouldn't you? You're going to make that $800,000, you're going to make that $1 million back in no time, man. You're going to make that million back by people, you know, who want to see the AJ Styles career and the Kurt Angle career and the Sting career and the Hardys and all the footage. All of that could be exclusive for the WWE Network. In turn, WWE gets your subscription for $9.99, and there you got it. But as far as this deal, honestly, I don't know any more than what I know here. I don't want to see it sold, man. This is a bad thing, if you ask me. This is going to put a lot of people out of business. This is going to put a lot of people out on the street looking for jobs. You don't want to have that happen, man. You know? Unless you're a Matt Hardy, unless you're a big name like Jeff, Matt, you know, whoever else is there that WWE might find use in, you might be shit out of luck. You might be unemployed. You might be looking for work. You might be looking towards Ring of Honor. You might be looking towards New Japan, Lucha Underground. There's not many other places to go work here in the United States. This is actually, for the wrestling business, for the wrestling industry, a very bad move. I don't want to see nobody go out of business. I don't want to see nobody without a job. You know? WWE has already staked claim to superiority here in North America. This is only going to make things worse. TNA right now is gaining some traction. They're gaining some momentum. They are making themselves just a little bit, week by week, another alternative to WWE. If we don't have that, what are we going to do? What is everybody going to do? Not everybody watches WWE. They love watching TNA Impact on Thursday nights, man. This is a bad thing. This is honestly a bad thing. It may be, in Vince McMahon's mind, a good thing, but for us fans, for the business, this is a terrible thing. This is a terrible thing right now. I don't know what else to say on this front. I mean, I've been trying to come up with things before I actually hit record on this. I have nothing on this, man. I really have nothing on this. All I know is that this is a bad situation for wrestling in North America. If WWE actually goes ahead and buys TNA Impact. I didn't even think they cared. But apparently, according to the New York Post, which I take very seriously, they are a very credible source. You gotta believe what they say, man. If they say WWE is putting their name in the hat for TNA, then more than likely it's true. So we'll wait and see. I don't know what else to tell you guys. If I hear anything else on WWE buying TNA or anybody buying TNA, I hope for their sake that they stay in business. I hope for their sake they stay on Pop TV, they stay on television, they are still around, and WWE has nothing to do with them. Because if WWE has something to do with them, TNA will end up like WCW, obsolete. That's all I gotta say about that, guys. It's gonna be a dark day. It's going to be a dark day for the wrestling industry if this happens. Update on why WWE had TJ Perkins win the Cruiserweight Classic and the Cruiserweight title. It is widely reported that WWE wanted to have Kota Ibushi, win the tournament. I wanted him to win the tournament. Some reports have claimed he go on to be part of the WWE. However, they weren't going to let the winner be someone who was not under contract due to the need for the winner to be the new Cruiserweight champion and be on Monday Night Raw in the face of the division. Neither Ibushi or Zack Sabre Jr. signed the WWE contract, mainly because both didn't want to at the time, and they felt they could down the line. That pretty much sealed the deal for TJ Perkins right away, and they gave it to TJ Perkins. Obviously, we've seen what Kota Ibushi and both Zack Sabre Jr. can do for the WWE. Their stock and their asking price just went up. It skyrocketed after the Cruiserweight Classic. So they probably are doing a good thing by not signing right now, because when they do and when they're ready, they're going to get more fucking money because of what they did during the Cruiserweight Classic. Use your brains. Ibushi just had left a full-time deal in Japan where he worked for two different companies, DDT and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Meanwhile, Sabre has been performing with WWN Live's Evolve company, but he had also worked the independents. Sabre is in his late 20s and could easily sign sometime next year, possibly, but Ibushi is in his mid-30s. Doesn't even look like it, bro. Which means his window is shortly closing. Triple H had been hard at work to try and sign Kota Ibushi, but the problem has been the full-time deal situation. Obviously, he needs a break from such a tough schedule, and no one can blame him for that. And I don't think Triple H would ever hold him to that after what he did in this tournament. Kota Ibushi said he would love to make on-off appearances with the WWE in the future. That being said, we can expect Triple H to allow this, and each time trying to convince Coda to sign something more regular. The main reason Perkins won was due to both Sabre and Ibushi not signing. Duh. But also because WWE feels they have something special with him as well. Perkins has been slowly gaining love from the WWE fans since he came into the tournament. He's pretty much been a superstar throughout this entire thing. From round one, he was one of my odds-on favorites to win this, man. He was one of my favorites early on to watch and see advance in this tournament, and he ended up winning the entire thing. He has wrestled all around the world and even performed with TNA Wrestling a little while back. He has a resume that few can believe. At the age of just 32, he has been wrestling for about 18 years, longer than Daniel Bryan, which Bryan made known when he interviewed him before the tournament began. Perkins has an amazing history that few can even believe. He began wrestling as a young teenager and worked under a mask for some time so no one would know. He would master the Lucha Libre style early on before learning some more of a technical style while in Japan. So obviously he is a cruiserweight reborn in WWE. He's not really a cruiserweight, man. He does it all. He's got the stature of a cruiserweight, but he wrestles unlike anything we've seen from a cruiserweight. I like that style, man. It's a new breed of cruiserweights in the WWE. He would then go on to be the youngest man to ever work New Japan Pro Wrestling, especially one of the few non-Japanese youngsters the company allowed in. He was known well by many wrestlers around the world and worked for some time at the top promotions in the world, like Ring of Honor, PWG. On top of that, TNA and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Many knew he was good, but he fell on hard times after his initial success, which resulted in the homeless story. TJ Perkins is one of the most complete wrestlers in the world with his knowledge on every single style in the world of professional wrestling, from lucha libre to strong style. After Ibushi and Sabre, most felt TJP was the clear-cut winner of this tournament and the best wrestler in the Cruiserweight Classic. It could also be noted that since TJP is a hybrid worker with knowledge of many styles, he can easily work with anyone that WWE puts in front of him. This is something not all can do. WWE really likes Perkins, so it was by no means surprising that he made it to the semifinals, as this was the plan most likely from the very beginning. The win may have happened due to the lack of certain people signing, but make no mistake, thinking WWE did not consider TJ Perkins to be one of the best wrestlers in the world when they brought him in. WWE really liked everyone they brought in. They absolutely had confidence in Perkins. Now that he is the first ever Cruiserweight Classic winner and the new Cruiserweight Champion, WWE will surely use this to help push Perkins when he goes to Raw this Monday. I can say for everybody that we are all looking forward to the Cruiserweights on top of everything that WWE's got going on right now on Monday Night Raw. So I can't wait to see. They got Akira Tozawa, Jack Gallagher, Cedric Alexander, Rich Swann, TJ Perkins. That alone, Brian Kendrick even, that alone is enough for a division that is going to be must-see. I can't fucking wait. TJP had a great showing in the Cruiserweight Classic. I obviously wanted Ibushi, but if he was not signed, there's no way to give him the Classic and the title. Now, I was under the impression that maybe they were keeping on the wraps, that they did have him signed. That was my logic. That was my opinion going into this, that they did not want to immediately say, you know what, we're going to report that he's not signed, but under wraps. It's been in fucking lock and key. We had this guy signed, and they didn't want to come out and say it, because if they did, if they said they came out and signed Kota Ibushi to a deal, more than likely he was going to win it. They didn't want it to be too predictable, but he and Zack Sabre Jr. did not sign, so obviously TJ Perkins was the next best thing to win this tournament. I was actually going for Gran Metalik in the finals, but I have absolutely no problem with TJP winning this thing. Gran Metalik also is on Monday Night Raw, man. Cruiserweights are going to be fucking awesome. Swear to God, if Vince McMahon and WWE and Kevin Dunn do not treat these guys right, I am fucking going off on Monday. If I don't see at least 15 minutes from these guys in that ring on Monday to open that show, I'm going off. These guys need to be treated as such, like we've seen with the Cruiserweight Classic. If not, it's a slap in the face and disrespect to everything that Triple H and William Regal and everybody involved did with the Cruiserweight Classic. WWE, Kevin Dunn, Vince McMahon has to understand this is the way of the wrestling business right now. Look at what Triple H is doing with your fucking brand and your company and your network. Let him be. If he's going to be at Raw, let him take care of what's going on in the ring with the Cruiserweights and let him just produce and go over what needs to be done. Keep it away from Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn. Let them become a fan on their own. Because if you immediately give them control over these guys, we're going to get 2-3 minute matches, and it's going to be a fucking shit fest, and everybody's going to fucking freak out and say, what the fuck's going on? We don't want none of that. Okay, so all I know is Monday Night Raw, Cruiserweights. I'm fucking stoked. I'm excited. I can't wait, and I'm looking forward to it very, very much. TJ Perkins, the face of the Cruiserweight division, because Sabre Jr. and Kota Ibushi did not sign, at least right now, with the company. Former TNA World Champion Eric Young finally signs with the WWE. Give him a round of ovation, standing ovation here. I'm excited. Eric Young is with the WWE, man. I've been waiting, and finally he is here. When will he appear? Former TNA World Champion Eric Young made quite an impression when he showed up for one random WWE NXT episode months ago, where he took on another former TNA World Champion and then NXT Champion Samoa Joe. While Eric Young lost his match with Joe, the impression he made in that match was more than enough to get him in discussions with Triple H on signing a deal with the WWE. Most assumed when he saw Eric Young for the first time, he would have already signed a deal. However, when he didn't show up again, the message was clear that he did not sign a deal just yet. It was reported that EY signed a date deal where he worked a match with Samoa Joe and allowed him to not be attached to anything while negotiations went on. Young also had commitments to fulfill, which meant that he needed to sign later on. Many questioned when he would end up signing something with the WWE, but we wanted to know, more importantly, when he would actually appear for the WWE again. It has now been confirmed through the Wrestling Observer that Eric Young did indeed sign a deal with the WWE recently. The reason he has not debuted again is because WWE's been waiting for the perfect time to bring him back. Obviously, that makes the most sense. Some speculate that we'll see him show up very soon. If you guys read the spoilers, you guys know what's going on. While others believe WWE will wait until November to do it. Obviously, if you read the spoilers, like I said, that did not happen. WWE happens to be going back to Canada for the first time with Survivor Series since the Montreal Screwjob. How many, watching me and listening to me, think that the WWE is going to have some sort of fucking thing that they pull on us in Canada to try and relive the Screwjob again? Remember when they did that with Natty and Charlotte? Give me a fucking break. Give me a break. What would they do that at? Roadblock? Fucking stupid, bro. Absolutely stupid. Put that shit in the past and move on. Nobody wants to see that and relive that again. I mean, Bret Hart's probably watching, and every time he sees WWE do something like that, he probably has a fucking mini stroke all over again. Give him a fucking break. Move on. Have nothing with the Survivor Series and the Montreal Screwjob again. Okay? Let bygones be bygones. Just move on from this entire situation. Because it's pathetic. WWE can't let fucking the past go. I don't know why. This is a pretty significant situation for the WWE, but with it being part of the Big Four, we know WWE will make it a must-see event. NXT Toronto, going to be the must-see event of the fucking weekend. I can't wait. They're even making the entire weekend special this year. It was announced recently that NXT TakeOver Canada will happen the night before Survivor Series. As of now, there are no matches set for the event. But one that seems likely to happen is Samoa Joe. If you watch NXT not NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, he lost the title there. But NXT this week on WWE Network, you've seen Samoa Joe absolutely destroy Nakamura. And again, after playing it coy and calm and reserved and gentlemanlike, he came out and showed us exactly why Samoa Joe could never be trusted, man. The best heel in the business right now, Samoa Joe, destroyed Nakamura. He will be facing off with Nakamura in a rematch, more than likely, from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. This is the time many believe Eric Young will end up returning to the WWE, as it would make sense to show up in his native Canada. WWE happens to be doing a sanity video that continues to show up each week during commercials for NXT. It's being said that the video could simply be for Crazy Mary Dobson, as it would make sense that they're trying to do a video like this for her. However, it is also being speculated that the video could be for Eric Young. The reason is simply because Young has been known for his crazy antics over the years, and a gimmick in WWE that goes back to that would make a lot of sense. That's not what happened. Eric Young is going to be like we seen him when he was on WWE NXT months ago, and actually the sanity stuff is for him, and he is now a part of a new stable, so look out for that. I don't want to go into more detail than that, okay? So, toward the end of his TNA career, he was still using a gimmick that some called crazy. It was awful. I didn't like that side of Eric Young, man. He was like TNA's version of Santino Marella, almost. That said, this video could very well be for Mary Dobson, but it would also not be surprising to see it for Eric Young either. The natural assumption amongst most is that Young will be a top star for NXT when he returns. This is mainly due to the loss of star power since the likes of Bayley, Finn Balor, American Alpha all have left. Samoa Joe and Nakamura are still currently with NXT. One is set to be up on the main roster before the end of the year. More than likely Samoa Joe. There's been rumors about him going to Smackdown, which they need a big heel. So that would be unbelievable if Samoa Joe got called up to SmackDown. The dream matches of Joe Styles, Joe Cena, Joe Orton should be good to go, man. I can't wait to see that happen. So that is the rumor as of now, or at least sometime near WrestleMania 33. With this being known, Triple H and the WWE staff do know that Eric Young being with NXT only helps the yellow brand when all is said and done. As a former world champion, he has certainly shown that he can be relied upon to be a top star for the brand. At the very least, Eric Young will help this year and early next year. The thought amongst most is that the WWE will be signing a lot of big names in 2017, and many will go through NXT. EY could end up on the main roster by then, but for now, NXT needs him. Therefore, adding him now would be ideal, and he could very well be a major help later on when he goes to the main roster. So don't be surprised if WWE has big plans for him, as he was the guy WWE wanted out of the TNA guys after AJ Styles. Even more so than Bobby Roode. And look at Bobby Roode now, man. He is an absolute fucking beast. Unbelievable. So, NXT is going to be fine. I'm not worried about NXT in the slightest. I'm very excited to see Eric Young debut on these next set of tapings with Nikki Storm. It's going to be great, so I can't wait to see what's up with that. I don't want to spoil anything for you guys. I won't say who they came out and attacked, and I won't say how they debuted and all that. It's going to be great, but they are debuting a new gimmick. This sanity gimmick that you've been seeing, it is indeed for Eric Young, but it's as a stable. So, with NXT TakeOver Canada coming soon, it's going to be fucking interesting. We just had the Cruiserweight Classic come and go, but we have more tournament action on NXT. The Dusty Rhodes Classic is coming back. It's been announced. Ty Dillinger and Bobby Roode are a team in this thing, the two Canadian boys, and it's going to be interesting to see what goes on with that as well. So, with all the weeks of NXT that we've seen so far, they've been in rebuilding mode, and it's been very boring, very lackluster, very skippable shows. The next set of tapings have gone back to must-see NXT, so I can't wait to see what happens. TNA, Eric Young, I don't know, man. TNA World Champion, Eric Young, coming back to the WWE. Gonna be fucking awesome. Can't wait to see what happens. Steel cage match being planned for No Mercy between The Miz and Dolph. Didn't I say this on my Backlash review? Didn't I say that with everything that we've seen and following SmackDown that maybe a steel cage match or a ladder match is in order for these guys at the next pay-per-view, being that it's a brand exclusive pay-per-view? I think I did say that. Have Ziggler and The Miz done enough to establish themselves as credible top of the card level talent in the absence of Orton and John Cena? Or have they been tarnished too much over the years to be viewed as legitimate contenders? I think I'll take the second option on that one. They have not done enough at all. And it's too late for both. Miz is doing the best work of his career. Dolph Ziggler is, well, Dolph Ziggler is Dolph Ziggler. The WWE is banking on the former, using Ziggler to further the storyline Miz started with Daniel Bryan, since Daniel can't carry out his feuds in the ring any longer due to the fact that obviously he is retired. At Backlash, the WWE gave Miz and Ziggler more than 18 minutes in their match for the Intercontinental Championship on a night where the pay-per-view started late and ended early. As noted, The Miz retained thanks to his wife Maurice spraying Ziggler with a unknown substance while the referee was distracted. A classic heel tactic that allowed The Miz to reign over the WWE as the Intercontinental Champion again and continue their program at the same time. According to Cage Side Seats, the feud will definitely continue, with The Miz and Dolph Ziggler facing off again at No Mercy, with the possibility that the IC title will be on the line in a steel cage match. Cage matches are normally reserved for wrestlers with more bruising styles, but this would certainly add an element to the rivalry that spans several years that we've yet to witness. SmackDown Live will present No Mercy, just the show's second brand exclusive pay-per-view on October 9th, less than a month after their debut network special, Backlash. Backlash was met with mixed reviews, with arguments coming from both sides as it pertained to the timing of the show. The main event between Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles was excellent, but the decision to pull Orton at the last minute was heavily criticized, seeing how his bout with Bray Wyatt would have been one of the best on the show, especially being a marquee match that was advertised right up until the last minute. The SmackDown creative staff will certainly be challenged to increase the entertainment value for the next pay-per-view, and a cage match between The Miz and Ziggler would certainly go a long way in achieving that. We're hearing that John Cena may return to television, which he did, and that obviously set up a match with Styles and Dean Ambrose at No Mercy in a triple threat match. Obviously, John Cena is not going to win this, as he's going on hiatus again for the remainder of this year as he's filming his reality TV show, American Grit. Whether Ambrose still fits into the title picture remains to be seen, but that should be cleared up quickly. Speaking of clearing, the hope is that Orton will finally get cleared as well to right the wrong they created when booking his Backlash match with Bray Wyatt in the first place, which I talked about already this weekend. I'm not going into it. WWE made a fool of themselves and a fool of everybody watching the product with their shittiness and their stupid decision with Randy Orton. A Cena return, Randy Orton coming back to go against Bray Wyatt in the Miz Ziggler in a steel cage match might just be enough to sell this show. Adding the element of a steel cage may just be coincidental or a continued subtle shot at former WWE superstar CM Punk. It has been confirmed that the opening sequence to Ziggler's match with The Miz at Backlash was their way of mocking CM Punk, who lost his UFC debut to Mickey Gall the night before in less than 3 minutes. The Miz played the role of Punk, charging after Ziggler, only to be taken down hard and put into a choke submission position, which is what Gall did to Punk, spelling the beginning of their end for that night. So, there you got it. You guys wanted to know that. It is confirmed that they took a shot at CM Punk, and it's being heavily rumored that a steel cage match is coming to No Mercy. I would be just slightly more interested in a steel cage match, but overall, am I going to care about this feud? No. I don't give a fuck if there's a steel cage. I don't give a shit if there's weapons. I don't give a shit if fucking Jesus Christ comes down to the match himself and appoints himself the fucking outside enforcer. I don't care. It's just too late for both guys. The Miz, they've been on and off with him and Daniel Bryan. It's either go all in or fucking get off the fucking pot. Seriously. One or the other. You can't have both. There's no in between. Ziggler, I've been saying this since SummerSlam, and people have been fucking coming at me left and right. Oh, JD, yeah, what is it with you, man? Why are you so negative against Dolph Ziggler, man? Who was right, asshole? Huh? I was right. The man with the podcast that you're listening to was right. Ziggler. Nobody gave a shit about Ziggler going into SummerSlam. Nobody gave a shit about Ziggler leading up to his match at SummerSlam. And what happened at SummerSlam? They had a match, and it was terrible. Nobody gave a shit. New York ain't stupid, motherfucker. Nobody gave a shit. And then they come out right out of the gate, and Ziggler's in a fucking IC title match. It's like they don't know what to do with him. One night, okay, we'll put him in a WWE Championship match. One night, next night, Intercontinental Championship match. What is it with Ziggler? He's nothing of importance to the product anymore. He was maybe 3 years ago, but now he's not. Nobody cares. And a steel cage match, yeah, it's going to sell the pay-per-view. Yeah, it's going to be a decent undercard match. But are you going to care? Of course not. Nobody is going to care at the end of the day. WWE officials high on Jack Gallaher. This week, the Cruiserweight Classic came to an end with TJ Perkins becoming the first ever WWE Cruiserweight Champion of the new era. It's been a great ride to see new talent come in, be given the opportunity to prove themselves on a new platform, which has also given the WWE the opportunity to relaunch a Cruiserweight division for Raw that launches on Monday. However, there were few performers that connected with the WWE Universe and was more impressive in the squared circle than the gentleman himself, Jack Gallaher. He's perhaps best known for his appearances at Future Shock Wrestling and Grand Pro Wrestling, where he's won the FSW Championship and GPW British Championship, respectively. He is also an accomplished tag team competitor, winning the Future Shock Tag Team Championship with Alex Cyanide as Lethal Dose. His technical skills rivaled anyone in the CWC, and he had the best gimmick of the tournament by far. Many felt he should have gone longer in the tournament, but he's earned the approval of the powers that be, surprisingly. I thought they would fucking shit all over him. According to a report from DailyWrestlingNews.com, WWE officials are very high on Jack Gallagher for his in-ring skills, as well as his connection with the WWE Universe. Gallagher will be coming to Raw's Cruiserweight division for the foreseeable future, but is yet to be seen with what WWE has planned for the entire division. The point is that whatever plans there are, he will be a part of them. Good, because he was one of the best. Obviously, going into that, a lot of these people were going to come out looking the same. It's the same kind of moveset. That was our fear going into the Cruiserweight Classic. But when Jack Gallagher came out, man, he was so distinct. Not only in his look, but his in-ring skill. That this guy, you knew something was special with this guy, and he stuck out like a sore thumb. That's something that's going to get over on Monday Night Raw because he is so different. He's got a different look that nobody is accustomed to. And he's just out there, man. His style and his look are going to get him over on the main roster. Believe me, and he's a perfect fit for the Cruiserweight division. Luke Harper returning to the WWE. Is he headed to Smackdown? Possibly. We'll see. Just before WrestleMania, Luke Harper went down with a torn ACL injury that forced him to miss the biggest show in wrestling history and roughly 6 months of his career. His loss to the Wyatt family was the first major hit to the stable that eventually disbanded during the WWE draft. Now the question is, will Harper go to SmackDown when he returns to WWE programming? According to WrestleZone.com, Luke Harper is closing in on his return at the WWE Performance Center in Orlando. He was there all last week getting the ring rust off of him after sitting for so long. This week, Harper is being evaluated, and it is believed that he will be medically cleared to return to WWE television by the end of the week. The only question is if he will go to Raw or he will go to SmackDown. On paper, SmackDown seems like the better idea. Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan are both on the brand already, so an original Wyatt family reunion could happen, or feuds within could begin for the Wyatts. At this point, who gives a shit? I mean, honestly, does anybody fucking care? Doesn't matter if Luke Harper returns or not. He's better off staying away because if he comes back, they're not going to know what to do with him, as always. There is always something going on with the Wyatts. There is strangely something cool about the potential for Harper versus Wyatt, the ultimate story of teacher versus student, and it could potentially be a career maker for Harper if he goes over his mentor. Listen, nobody should be going over nobody. Bray Wyatt needs to be going over everybody, not the other way around. Bray Wyatt needs to be over. Where Luke Harper goes at this point, I don't care. Put him on SmackDown. He goes to Raw, he's not going to fit in. Guys like Harper are going to fit better on SmackDown. He's going to be utilized better. And for fuck's sake, just put them back with the Wyatt family. Put the Wyatt family back together and just make them a dominant stable. Really. I mean, there's nothing else to do with these guys. At this point, it doesn't even matter if he's in the Wyatts or not. Who cares? He's just going to be another body, and he's a good body for that roster. He's great in the ring. He's great for his size. Whatever the case may be, just put him on SmackDown. Because if he goes to Raw, Luke Harper's going to be shit out of luck. I'll tell you that right now. What else do we got here? I'm gonna end it right here. Because there's just so much. I'm going to do another part for you guys. Okay? I'm going to do another part for you guys. What do we got here? We got Kalisto has been out of action due to back injury. This year's been frustrating for Kalisto. Again, does anybody care? No. I don't even know why I'm reading this. Who gives a shit? He started off the year red hot with momentum, then became the United States champion twice. Did you care? No. But the title reign's expectations were not met. Unfortunately, Kalisto has been trading wins back and forth with Del Rio all year, and he's been treading water ever since the Lucha Dragons were disbanded by the WWE Draft. Boy, could they certainly use the Lucha Dragons now, right? Yeah, they could. However, he's been absent from SmackDown mostly since then. The last time he was featured on SmackDown was during the August 2nd edition when he took part in the #1 contender match for the Intercontinental Championship against Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. The plan seemed to be Corbin versus Kalisto on SmackDown, but not much developed in their feud despite a few beatdowns from the Lone Wolf. According to a report from Ringside News, the reason why Kalisto hasn't been featured on WWE television is because he's suffering from a back injury. Baron Corbin has been put on hold since his injury, forcing him to take time off. However, there is no reported timetable for his return to the ring. The assumption is it will be sooner rather than later, but the back injury seems to be nagging him, and it's enough to keep him off television. Trade Sin Cara to SmackDown and give us back the Lucha Dragons. You want to know what to do with Kalisto? I just fucking saved you months and months and months of wasting these guys away. Kalisto's not going to get over on his own. If there's a Cruiserweight division, possibly on SmackDown he could get over. But if that does not happen, trade Sin Cara to SmackDown and get the Lucha Dragons back on TV and give yourself another baby face team. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. I just saved you months and months of torment. Not that difficult. If there's no Cruiserweights coming to SmackDown, like reported, Kalisto would fit perfect there. But if not, trade Sin Cara. You're not using him on Monday Night Raw. Enough jobbing to Braun Strowman. You had enough. You had your fucking fun and games. Get him over to SmackDown and give me back the Lucha Dragons as a babyface team. That is it. That's it. That's it. No more to be said about Kalisto. That is it, guys. Thank you so much. Up and down with this episode, man. Sorry for the cuts in the edit. My baby cat is running all over the place, man, and she's still got claws, and she's just jumping all over the place and jumping on my legs. I can't record and sit down peacefully and collect a thought and give you guys exactly what I want you to say with a fucking cat climbing up my leg and pulling wires down around my desk. Can't happen. So hopefully Monday's episode will be better. There will be a part 4. Thank you guys for joining me this weekend. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think of all the top stories, especially the TNA story that WWE is buying TNA. And I will be back with part 4, man. More news and rumors to round out your week on Off The Script. Until then, I'm JD. Check out the description for everything you guys need regarding my channel. And I'll see you right back here on Monday for Off The Script. 135, part number 4. I'll talk to you guys later.